How did you transform this game in the second half?
Just, defense. The defense set the tone. I thought Wiggs on the ball with Maxey to start the third quarter was fantastic. A ton of ball pressure, set a really good tone. And, we got great performances off the bench from Gary and Juan, two of our better defenders. And the defense led to the offense. The ball started to move because we were in transition. And so it was a beautiful second half.
Draymond is your key on defense as well. He picked up his fourth foul early in the second quarter. He never got his fifth. How did he do that?
He's just smart. He understands how to avoid fouls, how to play with foul trouble. That's why we always leave him in. Pretty much, if he gets three early in the game, we leave him out there because he knows how to play through that. So, I thought he was great. Loon did a fantastic job, but all about the second half defense.
This is the second straight time you guys have gone down double digits, and Juan has kind of flipped the energy of the game. Was it scripted that he was going to be a big part of the rotation tonight, or did you just kind of sense that it was that type of night?
No, it just turned into it based on how well the Sixers were playing offensively. They really took it to us in the first quarter, 34 points right off the bat. They just were attacking us, making shots, getting downhill. And so it turned into a night where we had to rely on our defense. And that's why we went to Juan and Gary for extra minutes. And I thought, as I said, both those guys really were key in that second half.
Piggybacking off that, you mentioned before the game, the Sixers on a team that will beat themselves, and you got to play with energy. And Juan injected some of that energy into the second half. How key is it to have a guy who, potentially way under the bench, but can come in and have such a major impact on the game?
Yeah, Juan, a week ago was out of the rotation, and it's just it's so great as a coach to know you can always count on a player like Juan, who's you could start him. He could be your eighth man, he could be your 12th man, but you always know what you're getting. Players love playing with him. Coaches love to have him out on the floor because of his energy, because of his brain. Just got great feel, great competitive desire. I think last year I talked a lot about how he's a lot like Draymond in that regard. So he just stuck to it. I'm really proud of him the way he stuck to it after we went away from him for a few games. And it's no coincidence that we went back to him in the Cleveland game, and we had that huge fourth quarter, and then he started in Detroit, and now he's played big minutes against Toronto and tonight against Philadelphia. So he's doing a great job.
Steve, how much of what Juan gives you is based just on disposition? That component that he brings.
Yeah, that's hence the comparison to Draymond. The competitive desire, the emotion, the crowd feeds off of it. But also the feel, the passing, the ability to make plays out of the pocket when teams are attacking Steph. He's 6 assists tonight. Made some beautiful passes out there. So he's a guy who we know he's a two-way player. And when we are in a game like tonight, that's kind of a dogfight. He's the guy you put out there.
I don't know that they played a ton together, but Gary Payton II and JTA together. Is there something with those two guys? Did you notice a difference in the game when those two guys are on the floor together?
They put a lot of pressure on the offense, on the opposing team's offense, just with their intensity, their emotion, their ball pressure. And again, I thought that was key. But Wiggs was the guy who really set the tone. We weren't ready to play, and that was probably my fault. We came in with a little bit too casual of an attitude, as sometimes happens when a team is beaten up, and they're missing Tobias Harris and obviously Embiid and Simmons. And so maybe you let your guard down a little bit. I don't think I had them quite prepared to play. And so that's, a credit to our guys that they recognized it at halftime and picked up the defense and set a tone.
Poole had 6 assists, some really nice passes. Would you like to see that more as a dimension of kind of your offense?
I just think Jordan's poise and shot selection the last couple weeks, last maybe 3 or 4 games, has gotten much better. It's part of his evolution. He's an excellent passer. And when he makes good decisions, there was one sequence that I loved where Steph hit him in transition and he could have shot and he just threw it back to Steph. It was a simple play, but it was the right play, and Steph hit the 3. Those are the kinds of simple plays that we need to make all the time, and Jordan's making more and more of them now.
What do you think about Andrew being a spark in the second half?
He was great. He was fighting for offensive rebounds. He was drawing fouls. He dove on the floor for the loose ball. I mean, our fans recognize it too. They feel the energy that Wiggs is giving us, and it was a great game for him because he missed those 4 free throws right away, and it could have been a tough night. Just the air kind of goes out of the building a little bit when you get in a bad rut from the foul line, and he didn't let it bother him, and he just bounced back and attacked the rim and defended like crazy. And he's a plus 25 tonight. He just made a huge impact on the game.
Second straight night where Bielitsa did not get a second half rotation. Looked like he was pretty hesitant, at least that one time. He clearly was very hesitant to shoot an open shot. What are you seeing from him right now? And what do you need to see from him?
It's just every game is different. These last 2 games, we've needed something different. We've needed more defense and energy. So it makes, the decision to play Juan and Gary much simpler. Belly has already helped us win a lot of games. He had a huge game in Detroit 3 games ago. This is how it's going to be for our team from one night to the next. It's just going to be a different guy. Whole key for Belly is to do what he's done this year, stay with it, and then just keep working, and the next game could bounce his way.
Steve,